Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Anand and today we will be understanding chapter number 4 of Bhagavad Gita. The title of this chapter is Transcendental Knowledge or Divine Knowledge and Detached Action. This chapter consists of 42 verses in all, and in verse number 1 to 3, Lord Krishna is explaining Arjun that this science, this supreme science or this knowledge was imparted to sun god, and in turn was imparted to Manu, and then was imparted to Ikshvaku. However, with time, this knowledge or this information or this wisdom was lost, and now Lord Krishna, finding Arjun to be a suitable receptor for this knowledge, is imparting this knowledge to him, as Arjun is not only Lord Krishna's friend but is also his surrendered devotee. So when Lord Krishna states that this knowledge was imparted to sun god at the very first time, then Arjuna's mind is perplexed and he poses a question that if sun god was born before you, how did you speak this information or this wisdom or this knowledge to him? So, in response to this, Lord Krishna tells about his appearance and he says that I remember all my previous appearances because I am a divine being. However, Arjun does not, because he was a conditioned soul. Then from verses 6 to 10, the uniqueness, time and purpose of Krishna's appearance have been explained, and the result of properly knowing about it has also been elaborated. So in verse number 7, which is one of the most popular verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that Yada Yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadadmanam srijamyaham, which implies that whenever righteousness is on the decline and unrighteousness is ascending, then I body myself forth. So this is one reason why Lord Krishna states that he takes form and appears in this mortal world. Verse number 8 is in continuation to verse number 7, in which it is stated, Paritrarane sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaye sambhavami yuge yuge, which means that for the protection of the virtuous and for the expiration of evildoers and for establishing righteousness on a firm footing, Lord Krishna states that I am born from age to age. So this is another reason for Lord Krishna to appear in this mortal world. Then in verse number 9, Lord Krishna states that his birth and activities are all divine and they are not mundane, like how conditioned souls are born and appear in the world. Lord Krishna, being a divine personality, states that his appearance and his actions are divine. From verse 11 to 15, it has been stated that Krishna is the creator and the culmination of all paths lead to Krishna. So in verse number 11, it is stated that Lord Krishna reciprocates with the worshipper's mood. So in whichever mood or relationship that we try to form with the Lord, it is reciprocated in the same way, in the same form by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In verse number 12, it has said that people worship demigods for quick results. So there are many demigods who are like the organizers of the creation, who hold different departments, and people worship them for getting particular benefits. For example, we have a goddess for wealth, we have a goddess for education and arts, and there we have a god for rains. So basically, whatever one person wants or desires, that particular person worships that particular demigod and achieves the desired result. However, it is also stated that whatever result is being given to any worshipper, that is ultimately sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Lord Krishna. In verse number 13, it is stated that Krishna created the four varnas, which means the four varnas of the society were Brahmans, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, in which Brahmans are the top class as they are the they are the category of people who are responsible to impart scriptural knowledge to the common mass. Kshatriyas are the people who are the fighter class and the rulers, and Kshatriyas generally worked in cooperation with Brahmins to have a fair rule and also to follow the path of righteousness. Then the Vaishya class were basically the farming class or the business class, and the Shudras were the lower class. Now, coming back to verse number 12, we were discussing that people worship demigods for quick results, and whatever one desires is given to him or not given to him as per sanction by the Almighty. Now, coming to verse number 14, Lord Krishna says that although he performs work, but it doesn't affect him. The reason being that he is not attached to the actions that he does. He does the actions for the sake of doing actions. However, it does not affect his being. Now, in verse number 15, it has been stated that the liberated souls work by understanding Krishna, which means that liberated souls, they do actions, and these actions are free from desire and thoughts of the world. Therefore, these actions do not bind them. From verse 16 to 18, intricacies of karmas have been explained, and it has said that it is extremely difficult to understand the intricacies of karma because we have nishkam karam, we have sakam karam, and we have akaram. Now, from verses 16 to 24, there has been an attempt to elaborate the karmas on the platform of Gyan. From verse 16 to 18, intricacies of karma are difficult to understand have been elaborated, and from verses 19 to 24, it is said that seeing inaction in action and action in inaction is a symptom of a detached worker, which means that a person who is a yogi sees action and in inaction, and he sees inaction in action. Such a person is wise and is known as a yogi. Now, from verses 25 to 23, it is said that a person can also attain knowledge or gyan through yajna or sacrifice. From verse 25 to 29, different types of sacrifices have been mentioned, which include the demigod worship or the worship of Brahm or sense enjoyment, self-control, and so on. All these are different types of sacrifices which are practiced by people of different modes of material nature. From verse 30 to 33, the purpose of sacrifices have been mentioned, that the purpose or the result of the sacrifices is the development of knowledge and destruction of sins, along with attaining the spiritual realm or along with attaining spiritual escalation. From verse 34 to 42, the method, results, and glories of attaining Gyan have been explained, and in verse 34, the importance of a guru has been stressed on, and it has been stated that a person must attain knowledge or Gyan from a spiritual master or from a guru by complete surrender, inquiry, and selfless service. From verse 35 to 38, the results and glories of knowledge and Gyan have been explained, and it has been stated that there is no bewilderment and there is pure vision, and the sins are also destructed after attaining Gyan or knowledge. From verse 39 to 42, the role of faith in acquiring Gyan has been explained as to who can and who cannot attain Gyan. So basically, in verse number 41, a person is not bound by his action if he dedicates his action to God in the spirit of Karma Yoga. So here Lord Krishna is trying to explain to Arjun that if a person is performing actions and is dedicating his actions to God in the spirit of Karma Yoga, then he is not bound by his action. And in the final verse of this chapter, which is 42, Lord Krishna is asking Arjun to slash the ignorance with the sword of wisdom that has been imparted to him by Lord Krishna, and to fight in the spirit of Karma Yoga, so that he will not incur any sin, as he will be dedicating his actions to God and will be fighting in the spirit of Karma Yoga. This is the end of the explanation of chapter number 4. Like I say, please forgive me for any incorrections or anything that I stated wrong. I tried explaining this chapter to the best of my capability, but like I had stated earlier, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a very vast book with lot of spiritual knowledge, and every time you read it, you find something new. So forgive me for my shortcomings. I hope you understand the chapter and you like it, and you make an attempt to read it yourself. Thank you so much.